Okay. So, hey guys, and welcome back to the channel. In the previous video, we were creating our task management system that we have already created right here. You can see. So, in that, we have done a lot of things as of now, right? We have created a lot of, files. We have created lots of functionalities. But what we have left is just we have to, give a little touch up in that, and we have to just create the timelines, progressive timelines in that. So that's what we are going to do in this section. We are going to wrap up, and we are going to finish out all the basic requirements and the things that is left in the code. Let me run it. It's running, and let's wait for it. Actually, I am talking about some functionality over here that will be like, let me show you just a second. It has started. And yes, you can see it right here. It's looking like this, right? All the functionalities are working, settings is working, and all the things are working, right? But what is left here is it is that we have to, create tasks over here. So yeah, I have to create a personal task, work and health, like this section. I'll just show you. Let me run it. Let me show you that original, that what all things we are going to do in this video. We will be creating some of the changes in this, and I'm going to show you that. Okay. So without wasting time, let's see over here. Yeah. So you can see that in this, whenever I click on personnel, you can see I'm getting such, task one, task two, task three, and all these things that I have created. Here we have Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, like this, right? So this is what we are going to create and add on in this part. Okay. The rest all functionalities are still the same, right? So let's do what? I'll just do some changes in this. And yeah, so it says no task today, no task today. But we have task in personnel folder, so it's showing me the task, right? So this is what we are going to create in this part of the video. So without wasting time, let's begin over here. Okay. So in this was the contact section that we have done in the previous part, right? But after this contact section, we have to create many more things, right? So what I'll do here is, right after this contact page, I'll go to the home page, and inside the home page, we have created a lot of things. Like, let me do one. Let me go here, and inside the home page, I'll go here, and right inside the pubspec.yml, we need to add one dependency. That is, that dependency is timeline, timeline tile. Okay, so timeline tile we are going to add on over here. It will be 2.0.0. Okay, this is what the library dependency that we are going to use. That is timeline. Okay, now after this, what we have over here, we'll go back to the home section. Let me so the profile also should be closed, and we'll go to the homepage. So homepage. Inside the homepage, we what we have to do here is we have to do some of the changes. Okay, so in this, I have created over there some of the things. So first file that I have to do change over here is what we have done. We have created inside this task. We have created these blocks. Okay, so these blocks should whenever we should click on this, it should redirect somewhere, right? So that is what we are going to implement over here. So yeah, let's do what? Let's quickly come up here and inside this tasks, we have a lot of features. So I'll come right up here and we'll go to tasks. Okay, so this is what the task looks like, right? Yeah. So this is build a task. So inside this build task, we are going to do some changes. What I'm going to do is, firstly, I'll go to this model. Where is the model inside this model folder? In this we have model. Okay, so I'll go to the task model inside the model folder, and we will be checking we need some of these things over here. Okay. So what I'll do here is I'll write one more thing over here. I'll write this dot description. Okay. So this dot description will be added over here. And after this dot description, we are going to do some description. We are going to put some description over here. Okay. Sorry. So right up here, I write description. So inside the description, we are going to store some value. Okay. So inside this, I'll store the data in the form of like this. So I'll write time. Okay. Time should be 10 a.m. and there should be tasks and there should be title and all those things. So it should look like this. Okay. So this is how it should look like. Task one. So inside the task one, I'll write create a video. Okay. So I'll change it to create a video. From 9, it should go all the way. Okay. So this is what first task will be. Then I'll do some changes and I'll write from 9 to 10. So from 10. So it will be from 10 to 11. Okay, so it's like suppose watching a movie. Okay, so it's like watching a movie like this. We will name it as watching a movie. And similarly, there is one more thing that we can add. It's like 11 and it should be all the way from 11 till 12 is that we are not going to do anything. Okay, so I'll do what? I'll put the slot empty. So I'll do what? I'll put the slot empty, okay? Because I don't have really anything to do. So I'll keep it like this. Then I'll change it to 12 a.m., and left p.m. Okay, so 12 p.m. And after this, I'll write go to the gym like this. Okay, so and I'll name it as 12 p.m. to 1 p.m. Okay, so yeah, this is what our time slot will look like. And there should be a final one that I'll be creating will look like this. Okay, so yeah, one should be the meeting with the client like this. Okay, and for the remaining one, we are not going to add any models at all. So yeah, inside this I'll write list. It will be having a list of what list that will contain a map and a string that will be called as description model. Okay, so this is what our model will look like. Okay, so right after this model, we are going to go back to the models, this task file. And inside the task file, now we have to do what? We have to do some changes. What changes we need to create a new file? Okay, so for that, For this, I'll do what? I'll create a new file inside the widget and I'll write it as date picker. Okay, so I'll create a new file called date picker because you saw that we were having these dates, right? So over here. So that will be what our dates will look like. So I'll name it as date picker. Okay. And inside the date picker, we will be having some of the names written like that. Okay. So I'll do what? I'll here and inside this, we are going to do some changes. So inside this, here and inside this, firstly, I'll create a file called date picker. Inside the date picker, we are going to create a list of dates. Okay, so it should look like import. Then I'll write import over here, and import should have package material dot dot like this, and state full widget. So I'll write state full widget, and it should be date picker. Okay, so it should look like date picker. Now inside this date picker, what I'm going to need, I'm going to create multiple files. I hope like everybody is watching. Yeah. So inside this date picker, we are going to add on some files over here. Okay, like for example, I'll go up here and inside this I'll write final and final. So I'll write week days. Okay, so inside this week days like this, I'll write Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday like this till Sunday, and similarly I'll write final and I'll name it as day. Okay, so yeah, inside this day I'll write the list of dates. For example, till when it should be from 11, 12, 13. Like it should be not 12, 13, something like this. So 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, and 17, right? So that is what it will be looking like. And after that, I'll write variable selected date. Selected day will be initially 0, that means Monday, right? Now, after this build context, we are going to do some changes. For example, what we are going to write inside, I'm going to write a container. With the container, I'll write height. So height will be 100. And inside 100, it should be having padding. Padding will be cons, not cons, actually engine 6 dot horizontal, and from the horizontal, I need little more, that is 20. And then decoration. So obviously decoration will be that old same, box decoration, and this time I won't be writing colors dot white, and I'll write border radius dot only. Inside this I'll write only, and inside only I'm going to write top left. So from top left I need circular 30, and from top right I need circular 30. So this is what the border radius will look like. And similarly, right after this, I'll write child, and inside the child, inside this I'll write child. Now inside the child I'll write list view because we need to view it in a form of a list. So I'll write list view dot separated. Now inside this item builder, I'm going to write context, okay, and comma index, context comma index, okay. Now after this, I'm going to write a gesture detector, okay. So this will be what? Gesture detector. Now inside the gesture detector, we are going to change the state. So it should be like on tap, on tap, and inside the on tap, I'm going to write set state dot selected day should be equals to the index. Okay. So this is what a selected day will look like. Then inside this, I am going to write item count. So selected builder should be something else. So inside the selected builder, I'll name it as index, and inside this index, I'm going to represent it as const, and there will be a size box. So inside the size box, the width will be 10. Okay, so this will be the size box, and there is an item count. So item count should be weekdays dot length. Okay, so weekdays dot length. Okay, this is what the uh, item count will look like. And now inside we will see a gesture detector. So inside this gesture detector, we even need to add on a child. So inside this, I'll write child. Okay. So now inside the child, I'll write a container because I need a container. Inside the container, we are going to store some things. So inside the container, I'll write padding. So padding will be what const h inset cells dot only. So I didn't set dot only, then come only, and it will be right. So right will be 10. Then from right it will be left. So left will be also 10. And I also need from bottom. Okay, so from bottom I need 10. And from the top I need little more, that is 25. Okay, so 25 from the top. So this is what the padding will be like. Then I need a margin as well. So margin should also be like const dot symmetric, and inside the symmetric I just need to add here horizontal 0.5 like this. Okay, and I'll format it. So yeah, looks good. Now the container has got its padding and also has got its margin, but we forgot to add the decoration. So decoration should be selected day, and inside the selected day, if the selected day is like this, then it should be colors dot gray. Okay, so it should be colors dot gray dot with opacity 0.3. Okay, so this is what colors dot gray will look like. Otherwise, it should be null. So if it is selected, then it should be changed to colors dot gray. Otherwise, it should be not changed. Right now, after this, I'll write a child. That means inside this container, what I need to store. So inside this, I need to store a column which will be having some of its data. So this column will be storing, firstly, it will be storing the text. What text it will store? It will store weekdays and weekdays dot index. So whatever is the index of weekdays, that will be inside of it. Then also style. Okay, so inside style, it's const text style. So I'll do what I'll do, just do the text style inside this. Now inside this text style, I'll write color. So colors dot black. And what I'll go do here is after this colors dot black, I'll write font weight. Font weight, so font weight dot fold. Okay, so this is what it will look. And yeah, I needed that. It's going to ask me for putting const over there. Now after this text, I even need a space first of all. So space of height 5. Then I'll write days. Okay, so index dot days. That should not be bold. I don't need it should be bold. It should be W500. Okay. So yeah, this was the things that we needed right here. And now I'll do what? So yeah, we have created this particular file as well, and the weekdays is looking. Now, what I'll do here is I'll have to do some changes. Let me see, video is visible, right? Yeah, and everybody's been watching. Yeah, right. Okay. So now after this, what I really need to do here is I need to create a task title as well. Okay, whatever my task will be looking, I even need that it should be visible, right? So for showing that, we need to create one more page, and I'll name the page as task underscore title dot dot. Okay, so task title dot dot. Inside this task title dot dot, it's going to contain the task title that we will be showing just now. Okay. So what I'll do here is I'll import firstly package material dot dot. Then inside the stateless widget, we are going to name it as task title. So inside this task title, we are going to do a lot of things. So I'll name it as container. Then inside this container, I'll write padding, and for this padding, I'll write const edge insets dot all. So edge insets dot all, and inside the all, it should be 15. Okay, and I'll write child. Then I'll write row, and inside the row, I'm going to firstly change the alignment. So I need to alignment should be space between. So main axis alignment dot space between. Then inside this children, I'll write const, and inside the tests, I'll write like this, and I'll name it as tasks. Like that. Okay, so task title like this, I'll name it as. Then right after this test task, we are going to create a container. Now inside this container, we firstly need some padding. Okay, so what I'll do here is I'll just let it be like this. Yeah. So this will be our widget that we will be using. Okay, so widget is done. Now, right after this screen, I'll write you will go to bottom navigation homepage. Now, inside this homepage, right? Page now after this homepage, we have files. So let me go up here and let me check. See, personal tasks. You have three tasks left for today, and like this file we have created right up here, and this title and timeline is also done. I'll show you task title, timeline like this. I'll name it as timeline. So this part is also done. Okay. Now, what is this part? This part should contains all the tasks highlight that we have created. So it should be having a task timeline that I'm talking about. Okay. So inside this task timeline, we need that it should have like this. Okay, so I'll again go back to this models, and inside this models I'll create a timeline as well. So I'll name it as task timeline dot dot. So task timeline dot dot has been created. Now inside this, I'll import material dot dot. Then I'll also import like this. Now I'll write state less widget, and I'll name it as task timeline. So task timeline. Now inside this task timeline, we need to import some things. We need to import final, and inside the final, I need to add on the details. Okay, so what I'll do here is I'll name it as like this list. No list. Actually, we just need a map right here that should be dynamic. So this list will be removed from there, and I'll name it as details. So detail like this, and inside this super key, I'll name it as this dot details. Okay, and I'll remove this task from there. Now, after this, what I'll do here is instead of this placeholder, I'll change it to something else. What I'll do here is I'll write it as a container. Okay. Now inside this container, I'll firstly add color. So color will be colors dot white. Okay. Now this colors dot white has been done. Then I'll write padding, and the padding should be about like this. Padding should be like this. So padding should be edge inside dot symmetric, and in the symmetric it should be horizontal 50. Right. Now after this padding, I'll write child, and inside the child we are going to create a row. Now inside this row, what I'll do here is I'll add on few of the functions that we are going to create right now. Okay. So inside this, firstly, we are going to create a function called build timeline. Okay. So firstly, for creating that build timeline, so I need widget, and inside this widget, I'll write underscore build build timeline like this, and that will take us a color. Okay. So color would be color like this. Now it should return us a container. Okay. Should return us a container, and inside the container the width should be 20 and the height should be 115, and inside this I'll name it as child, and the child will be having timeline tile. Okay, so timeline tile like this, and inside this firstly we need few of the things to be told here. So firstly I'll write alignment. So alignment should be timeline align dot manual, and inside that firstly I need line xy should be almost 0. Okay, so I don't need point 1 or something, it should be 0, and is first should be true, and also there should be an indicator style in this. So indicator style will be also changed. So indicator style inside this I'll write indicator xy should be 0, and after this what is width? So width should be 20, and there is an indicator. So inside this indicator I'll change it to be container. Okay, this container, so this should be container, and inside the container there should be a decoration. So box decoration. So box decoration dot circle color should be colors dot white, not this one. Colors colors dot white, and there should be a border in this. So I'll write a border, and the border should be border dot all. Color should be colors dot given color, and width should be 5. Okay. Yeah. So this will be the styling, and there is one more thing which it takes, that is after line. Okay, so after writing indicator style, we need to tell them the after line style. So after line style should be uh, after line style should be a line style. So line style, inside the line style, color will be color and thickness should be right. Okay. So this will be that's good. So this is what the build timeline looks like. Okay. Now this build timeline should be written, yeah, inside this row. So I'll write a row. Inside the row there will be a children, and inside the children there will be things like this. So it will be build timeline. Build timeline will have the color of detail, and inside this detail there should be a TL color. Okay. Now what is this having? So TL. So whatever the TL color we have created inside this model, right? That will be sent over there. Okay. Now inside this, it's saying detail is not, taken. This is because we have not specified this task timeline, right, in any of the files. So what I have to do here is I have to add that inside the file. So I'll go back and inside the tasks. Okay. Where is the exact file? Profile history inside this next view. No. Bottom navigation bar, homepage. Inside this homepage, most probably I have created this. Right. Yeah. I'll go to this task timeline and task style. Let me check. Task title. Inside this task title, we have created this. Is it is fine, right? Now there was one date picker is also that we have created. So that date picker code is also done. Date pickers code is fine. Now there will be a detail task, right? Yeah. So we need to create a detail file because it's asking detail, right? So I'll do what? I'll do what here is I'll create a detail. So inside this we'll create a file called detail dot dot. Okay. Now inside this detail dot dot we still need to add on some data that we have not created. That is what firstly I'll create. I have to import some libraries. So it will be like these libraries. Okay. Now after cooking this library, it should be import date picker dot dot. Okay. So date picker dot dot. And then we are going to write a stateless wizard. So state not full, stateless widget, which will be detail page. So detail page dot dot. Okay. Now after this, it should be final. And right after this final, what I'm going to write here is I'm going to write a task. So this task will be having a thing called task. That means we are going to call out the task over here. And inside this details page, we are going to call the task over here. So this dot task. Okay. So it will be calling this dot task over here like this. Now, after returning this, it will return a lot of things. So firstly, I'll do what? I'll, create a file that will be having the sections. Like inside this, we need to add on a scaffold over here. So I'll remove this placeholder and I'll add on a scaffold. Inside this scaffold, what we will do here is it will return us a background color. So background color will be colors dot black. Okay. So this is what it's going to return as colors dot black. Now, so inside this background color, I'll write a body. So this body will be having a lot of things. So it will be having a custom scroll view. Okay. So custom scroll view. Inside this custom scroll view, I'll write slivers. Okay. So slivers will be having some of the files that is build app bar that we are going to write, right? So build app bar whose code we are going to create now. Okay. So right after this, I'll create a widget. So I'll write a widget whose code will be okay. Inside this, I'll write a build app bar that we have written up, and this will be taking context. Okay, so it will be taking build context like this, and yeah, it should look like this somewhat, but yeah, we have to do some changes in this code because it's not perfect. So first of all, yes, it's taking expanded height should be not this much. Okay, so I'll remove the files from there and fine. Now, inside this background color, after this background color, which it will take expanded height. So instead of 300, expanded height will be less 90. And after expanding height, it's asking leading. So leading should be icon button. Okay. The icon button which should do what? It should navigate dot pop. Okay. So it should be navigate dot contrast. Okay. So pop context, that means it should, pop back. That is what it's saying. Right? Now, after this icon button, what we need, we have to specify the icon size as well. So icon size should be 20. If we don't want it to be, way more big than we need it to. So, so it's like after this I actions, we need an empty actions that will be not having anything. So it's like we have given, an empty arrows. Now after this, I'll write a flexible space. So flexible space will be having some of the task, some of the text that we will be telling them to be. Okay, so it should be flexible, flexible space. And inside this flexible space, it's like flexible space bar. And that flexible space bar will be having title. So title will be in the form of a column. Okay, so inside the column, firstly, I'll add main axis alignment dot start. Okay, so sorry, cross axis alignment dot start. Okay, so cross axis alignment dot start, and right after this, main axis alignment dot end. Okay, so main axis alignment dot end, and there should be a children. So what that children will be having? That children will be having tasks title. Okay, so what are these task title? So we are going to call that task title. That is what. So it should look like inside this arrow. Whatever the task title we have written in there, that is what we are calling over here. Okay. So this is the task title and it should be task. Okay. So we have this task pending and it should be also telling us the data. So you have not three, so you have some particular amount of tasks. That is what we are going to fetch from there. So task dot left, tasks to left to do. Okay, so you have this and this task left to do, like this we have written. And instead of writing it bold, I'll write W500. And for this one as well, I'll write W500. Okay, so yeah, W500 has been written, and instead of this, I'll write colors. So color should be colors dot gray. Okay, yeah. So this will be our background app bar. Okay, and I'll write it like format, right? Yeah. So right after this, what we'll do, we'll add on a condition in this. Okay. Now after writing this, I'll write sliver to box adapter. Okay. So sliver to box adapter, and inside this, we'll add a child which will be having a container. Okay. And inside this container, what I'm going to write, I'm going to firstly give on a decoration, and that decoration should be colors.white, border radius.only from top left, and top right, we are giving circular border. From bottom, it should not be circular border. Okay. Now, right after this box decoration, I'll write a child, and inside the child, I'll write a const column. Okay. So const column, and inside the column, I'll write cross-axis alignment. So cross-axis alignment should be from start. Children should be having two things. So inside this children, I'll write two files. Okay. First will be date picker that I have created. So date picker, and second one should be task title. Okay. So title. Okay. And right after this, it should be it. Now, after this sliver to box adapter, we even need to add one more thing. We even need to add that if the the detail list that we are calling up here, okay, so detail list equals to null. Okay, so if the detail list is null, then we are going to tell something else, right? So what I'm going to write here. Let me check what all things we have done. Okay. Yeah. So inside this, if the detail list will be null, okay. So if it's going to be null, then I'm going to change something else. So it's like sliver fill remaining like this. So sliver should fill remaining with what? It should fill the remaining with the container that will be having, should fill it with a container that should be having colors will be colors.white. And there will be also one more thing, that is no task allotted, right? So height will be 200, and there will be a child. Inside this child, it should be having a text. So yeah, no task. Inside the center, no tasks yet. Okay. And there should be also a styling that I'll give font size should be 20. And after this, color should be also different. So yeah, color should be gray. Now fine. A dot 900, right? Yeah. So this will be what if the things are not true. And if it is, then what I'll write sliver, sliver list. Okay, then inside this delegate, we will put something else. So inside this delegate, I'll write sliver child builder delegate, and inside this tasks timeline, which will be having a detailed list in it, that index, and the index should also have the task line dot. Okay, yeah. So inside this task timeline, it's throwing me an error, right? What error it's throwing? It's saying detail. It's not. Okay, so inside this task timeline, it's saying that detail is not told us. We don't know what exactly is the detail over there. So yeah, we need to tell them what is the detail. So inside this detail, DAIL, we need to tell them the TL color. So where is the TL color? Okay. So yeah, inside of this, we are going to specify more things. So after this, right inside of this, we need to tell them detail dot dot. So yeah, where is the detail? Details should be told us, right? So here inside this material dot and also developers dot dot detail, not detail, it's detail. Detail. Okay. Yeah, now it will not throw me that error, whatever we are writing, right? Detail. Yeah, so detail page dot dot. Inside this detail page, now it will not show me that particular error that I was getting before. Now, after this detail page, we need to do some, we have to do some changes. After writing this detail page, we need to tell them the expanded. Okay. So I'll write expanded. Right inside this expanded, I'm going to write a child that will be a row. Okay. So inside this row, we are going to store the data. What data we are going to store inside this row is I'll create a row whose data will be like this. So uh firstly we need over here that the main axis alignment should be space between and the cross axis alignment should be start. And inside this we need detail time, whatever the time is current, and the build card. Now build card I am about to create right here, and inside this I'll write few things. What error happened right here? Yeah, I'll clear that error right now. So inside this, firstly, it's asking me to add a widget. So I'll add a widget, and inside this widget, I'll write build card. Okay, so build card, and inside the build card, I'll write color. So inside the color, it's like peachy color, whatever the color I'm about to put. Then there is a string, and string will be having a title, and there is a string that will be having a slot. Okay, so yeah, whatever the slot data or whatever things that will be stored in the, you know, now whatever these details are, right? These details are coming from the, a model that we have created, task model over here. Okay, so whatever data we have created, that is coming from this task model. That's why it's written like this. Okay, I hope you're getting my point. So let's come back to this code, and right in this, we are going to create a container. Okay. So it should return a container, and right inside this container, it should have a specific width of 250 and a specific height of 100. Okay. So this is what it's going to write, and there should be a decoration. So box decoration, okay, and inside this box decoration, the color will be whatever the color I'm going to tell. Okay, so it should have a color. So whatever the BG color I'm going to tell, that will be the color. And there is also border radius dot only, and inside the only, I'm going to write from top left, it should like be 100, 10, 10, 10, and from top right as well. Right? Now after this, I'll add a child, and inside the child we need a column. So that is what column we are going to create. So inside this column, where what exactly we are creating, we are creating this particular section. Okay, so this is what I'm writing over here. So inside this, I write a padding and column. Yeah. So this should be the column. Okay, and the column should be cross-axis alignment dot start, and inside that it should have some padding, and the text should have the title, whatever the title, that the title we are providing over there, and the slot that we are giving. So title will be task 1 and slot will be 9 a.m. like that. Okay, so yeah, this task timeline section is completed. Now what is the detail list? So inside this task model, let me go check once again. Yeah, so we'll go to detail, and inside the detail, I'll write detail list. Okay. So right up here, I'll write final equals to detail list. And that detail list will be having this DSC that we have created there in that section. Okay, so that will be having the detail list, what it's expecting to find right. So yeah, now it's fine, right? Yeah. So we have created the most of the files over there, and let me now only this linkage part is done, that we just have to link it with this and it should work fine, right? Yeah. So let me open this personal inside this tasks dot personal homepage. Okay, so inside this homepage, I have two pages. Very proud. And right here, we have two more things. Okay, let me just check where is the pages in this so that I can link right up here. Okay, start this one. Hope everybody is watching it. Okay, so in this just link, I have to link. So inside this task, I'll firstly run it quickly and let's check. Till it's running, let's just wait so that we can see that, yeah, whether the code we have implemented it's working or not. Right? Yeah. So yeah, you can see that personal work and health, but there is not any, nothing is opening when we are clicking it, right? So I just have to go back and check where is the task over there. So inside this task, we have to check, yeah, detailed or that. So inside this, whenever we are clicking, okay. So in this build task, I'll go to task page. Yeah, in this task, whenever we are going to the build task, okay, in this container, I'll just hover it and I'll wrap it the widget, and inside the widget I'll write gesture detector, and inside this gesture detector we are going to write on tab, okay, and inside this on tab functional we are going to create a navigation. So I'll write navigation like navigator dot navigator dot push. So navigator dot push, and it should push where to the detail page. Okay. So we need to create it. So material, and we don't need really to put it into this page. Right. Now inside this material page, I need to import detail page. Okay, so detail page, and yeah, this should has the task list. Check. Okay. Now why this is throwing the error? It's throwing us an error because detail page it should have a task start. Yeah. So now it's fine. Like yeah. So I'll quickly load the page and let's check if I'll click this. Yeah. So you can see that we are getting, it's not, completely good looking, but yeah, you can see that we have some of the data. Okay. So here you have 5 tasks left to do. So inside this color, let me go to the timeline, right? So inside this timeline, firstly, I'll go back to the task model. And inside this task model, yeah, you can see that we have given a red color, right? So it should be blue. Similarly, this one should be yellow. And there is how many colors? So yeah, this one should be red and this one should be yellow. Yeah. Let me just reload the code so that should look. Yeah. So now you can see that we are getting this task model perfectly, and but the container's height is little more big. So I'll go here and inside this, I'll check the container's height. And inside this container's height, we need to do little modifications to the height. Where is the text? So yeah, this we have the text over here. Should be black 54, and this one should be black 87. Okay, so yeah, black 87. Now, right after this, I need to add the padding. So instead of all, I'll add the padding only from like this, only from top. Okay, so the padding is also changed. Yeah, you can see, right? Same padding goes up here. So instead of top, it should have 5, and from left, it will be having the same 20. Yeah, so yes, you can see the texts are looking good. And actually, the title should be little more big. And this text that we are getting over there, right? That text should also have this padding over there. Okay, so right, I'll do what I'll change the time, and the time should be having a little bit of padding over there. So padding should be symmetric and a little bit more. So I will changes over there as well. Yeah, now it looks good. And this Monday, I don't understand why this. date picker is showing the same properties. And date picker, there is a date picker. Yeah, date picker. Yeah. So that is what we needed little bit of changes in the date picker that I have done. Yeah, the code has been also updated, right? And I just had to check why that, that time is improperly attached. So for that, just let me give a second. And I'll check space between and color suffering and yeah, details. It's if it's not empty, then we should have nothing over there. But if it is empty, then everything should go fine, right? Yeah. So yeah, most of the code is done. Like nothing much is left, right? So I hope you understood each and everything that you have done in this video. If you have any sort of doubts and queries, then yeah, to comment out and like, share, and subscribe to the channel so that you won't miss the next part in which we are going to create full, code. Message should be update day 5. So yeah, in the next part, we are going to create a completely different application. So make sure you stick with that as well. So yeah, this was pretty much it for this video. And I hope you understood each and everything. If you have any sort of doubts and queries, then yeah, comment out. And I will see you in the next one. Till then, see ya, have a great day, and bye bye. And yeah, see the code is working exactly fine. And the code you will get on my GitHub. So make sure you follow me so that you will be getting updated with the videos